we're going to check out some German pickleball today. Let's get into it. So we're going to be continuing with our video series where I analyze video submissions from you guys, my viewers and subscribers. I got a bunch of video submissions, which is awesome, and I'm hoping to eventually get to as many of those as I can. But for this round, one really stood out, and that is a group of guys that sent me some of their gameplay footage from Germany. So they said pickleball's kind of picking up steam over in Germany, but they don't have a lot of coaching right now. So me being able to look at their video and give some advice would hopefully go a long way to kind of grow in the game over there.
First on the far side in the blue shirt, we have Karsten. Far side orange shirt, we have Miguel. On the near side with a black hat and black shirt is Fabio. And then near side black Yola shirt is Steffen. So I would say after watching the video, these guys are probably in the 4.0 to 4.5 range. Steffen in the black Yola shirt appears to probably be maybe the strongest in the group, and I would guess he's maybe around a 4.5. Let's get into some points and see what these guys are doing well and see where they could use a little work. So we're going to start by rolling this first point in real speed, and I want you to kind of take note of partner positioning and see if you can find any mistakes there. Now let's take a slow-mo look and see if we can break down some things that are going on. We've got Steffen in the near side in the Yola shirt serving. So sends the serve over. All looks good up to this point. We have the other side coming into the kitchen line. Looks like Steffen's trying to drop, and that's a pretty good one. You can see he realizes it's good and pretty quick to get into the kitchen line behind that, which I like. Maybe a little bit late on the split step here. So you can see over in the dark blue, Karsten hits the ball here, and then Steffen's still 2 steps after that. Typically we want to split right when the ball is hit, so he'd be wanting to stop here to get a little more balance and control. He continues on, does a nice job of kind of settling and saving it, even though he was maybe a tad out of control. But anyway, we're all up at the kitchen line, doing some dinking now. Nice little redirect. He's got Karsten on the move over there. Okay, so now he hits a good shot. He sees Karsten's pulled wide, and I love this read. He's going to go for an Ernie. Now, here's where I see a big mistake. You can see his partner Fabio over here in the black with the black hat. It's just kind of watching the action. So he's seeing that his partner's Ernieing. So I would want to see him kind of moved over and helping to cover some of that space. I think this was a good read on the Ernie. So let's see what happens. Looks like he just kind of slightly mistimed it. Might have been there. But again, I think if his partner had come over, he probably could have helped out a little bit and got this ball, and they're still in this point. Try to keep connected with your partner a little bit better. If your partner slides, if they Ernie, if they ATP, stay with them, move with them, and keep that space between you a little tighter. Then you won't have situations like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out our second point here, see what we got. Okay, so let's break that down and see what we got going on. We got a serve from Fabio. Karsten returns. Again, these guys are all pretty good at, some of the basics, getting to the line quickly. So looked like we went for a drop there, a little bit high. Nice job here. You can see Steffen in the Yola shirt recognizes the ball was a little high, and see he was starting to the kitchen line, and then he recognized it was attackable, and he stopped and took a quick step back. That's a really nice, intelligent play where he was seeing that they were in trouble, and rather than just full rush in, he stops, gets in that midcourt where he can play a little bit of a defense. And that's exactly where they're at now. So now they're just midcourt transition. Once they can get a ball to bounce, then they're going to look to move forward. Just kind of exactly what happens. They get that ball to bounce. Now they're chipping away, trying to get some space and move forward. So that was a nice job there. They were in a little trouble, not the best third in the world, but they played a couple shots from that transition area, didn't press, and ended up getting up there. So now we're in the dink rally. And again, what I really like is Steffen in the black Yola shirt seems to do a nice job of using pressure dinks. So you can see every dink is low, rolling. There's a lot of purpose to it. You can tell he's really trying to set up his point. He's not just placing the ball back in the kitchen again, but he's trying to make something happen in this dink rally. One thing I would note is I don't know that he needs this big of a backswing to do that. I think he could be a little more compact with the backswing and still accomplish the same task with maybe a little higher level of consistency. So he's doing a nice job. He's moving the ball around. Okay, so there's an opportunity. They were able to get that ball there kind of behind Miguel. So this should be a situation where they're thinking offense. They're looking to reach in and attack. Lob goes up. Good overhead. And there we go. They got the point. So I think that was an example of the team in the black being a little more purposeful with their dinking. It seemed like Karsten and Miguel were just kind of getting the ball back one more time, getting the ball back in the kitchen and kind of surviving, where Fabio and Steffen were trying to dictate that dink rally a little bit more. All right, so let's take a look. Let's break it down here. We've got Fabio serving here on the near side. Ball comes back. You can tell clearly based on this backswing, which is pretty far back, he's going to drive the ball. I do think in general, watching these videos, that these guys were maybe driving a tad too much from, this kind of transition area. You can see how much space he has over in front of Miguel. So I think a drop in this situation would have been pretty easy. He could have dropped it over in front of Miguel in the orange shirt, and they're to the line easily. He chooses to drive, but you can see the big thing is just how big that backswing is. I don't think we need that much swing to get power. So, so let's continue on. See that drive ends up popping up a little bit. They're able to attack down and point over. Okay, so right into the next one, we're going to take a look at some similar concepts here. Nice choice with the drop, a good drop there. Again, now, if I pause it here, you can see kind of how far that paddle is behind Steffen here. My general thing is I like to try to keep the paddle as much in front of my chest as possible. Once it kind of gets off to my side or behind me, we really lose feel for it. We lose control. It's harder to gauge how hard you're going to hit the ball. So for my liking, this is a little too far back. Again, same thing. We got another forehand, kind of same position here. The other thing too is you can be a little more active with your footwork. So if he'd take a big step back here, he could kind of get behind the ball a little bit more, which would allow him to keep his paddle in front of his body more. So sometimes footwork can even help you with your paddle position. And it looks like he got kind of a bad bounce there. So Fabio serves, we got the return. This is a great shot right here, this kind of rolling drop. Now here's the one I don't love. He's moving in. This would be a simple drop and get to the kitchen line. You know, this shallow and moving in like this. Instead, he chooses to drive, which is a dangerous play. You know, I think that Miguel over in the orange maybe wasn't quite ready, wasn't quite on it, but you know, this is a ball right here that you would think he's gonna take it, drive that backhand volley down at their feet, and it's gonna be over. He doesn't quite hit it clean, so they're kind of still alive, and they end up winning the point. But you know, if this were me, I would kind of think I got away with that one. I did something I probably shouldn't have, and I kind of got away with it anyway. So you know, don't always think that just because you won it, you're choosing all the right shots. So let's do it again. Let's take a look at this very next point here. Similar concept, drive right off the bat. Again, I think this could have been a drop from inside the baseline like this. Again, we got another high volley. Miguel, it doesn't quite punish it enough. You know, quite honestly, like I think he could have been a little firmer down with that volley and made them pay a little bit more. So they're kind of off the hook again. Another high ball. And he kind of rolls the volley long. I think that was the right shot, just missed a little long. So that's kind of back-to-back points where I think Fabio in the backwards hat maybe chose, you know, not the wisest shot from the transition area and got away with it both times. So sometimes you just got to kind of be honest with yourself and ask, you know, whether or not I won or lost the point, was that really the right shot? These guys over in Germany are doing some great things. I really love the way they're playing. So hopefully they can keep growing the game over there, be pioneers of the sport.